Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Returns Report. I'm Larissa Summers, Optoro's SVP of Marketing. And today I'm very excited to bring on a special guest, Megan Knowlton, who is Optoro's Director of Sustainability. Welcome, Megan.
Thanks for having me, Larissa.
Well, it's great to have you here because we have a very interesting topic and really wanted to dive into your expertise with respect to sustainability and environmental impact of retail returns. As you know, we are in the high season right now, the peak return season post holiday. So, can you tell me and our audience a little bit about how returns are actually highly problematic for the environment and what you see?
So, Larissa, you mentioned that e-com tends to have a higher rate of returns than your traditional kind of brick and mortar in-person returns. And the data shows that usually e-commerce returns can see up to 2 to 3 times the rate of returns of in-person shopping returns. So what that means is we're seeing a lot more returns happen this holiday season due to that huge rise in e-commerce that happened from the pandemic this past year. So we ran the numbers for 2020 and we estimated that return inventory in the year 2020 created about 5.8 billion pounds of waste going to landfills in the last year, and that the shipping and transportation of those returns caused about 16 million metric tons of carbon dioxide emissions. So these are huge impacts just from returns alone.
Those are incredible numbers and, really sobering statistics. What can retailers do to mitigate the impact and this terrible burden that returns are placing on the environment?
So the majority of the impact of a product that you buy actually happens on the manufacturing and the material sourcing phase of the product. So if you can actually keep that product in use and continue to prolong the life of that product, you can actually make a lot of impact in terms of sustainability. And that's some of the thinking behind what we refer to as the circular economy. Now, some other ways that retailers are making returns more sustainable is trying to prevent returns by giving better product descriptions, having better photos, fit guides if it's apparel, sometimes AR tools as well. They're also working on reducing packaging around returns or even allowing for packageless returns as well. Um, as I said, re-commerce is a huge way that retailers are investing in reducing the impact of returns. So you'll see companies like Best Buy offering open box prices on their website to consumers to try to resell the products that get returned or that maybe didn't sell in the first place. And then you also see others who have dedicated channels to reselling their secondhand goods, such as Patagonia Worn Wear. And then finally, technology and data can help companies to reduce the waste from returns. So when they use technology to have the back-end process on processing those returns be as efficient as possible and send items to their next best homes, then you can keep more products out of landfill and also cut out some of those unnecessary transportation steps as well.
Hmm. You mentioned Best Buy, Patagonia, and others in terms of kind of leading the way and how they're thinking about returns and re-commerce and kind of powering a more circular way of doing business. What does the data say with respect to how consumers respond to companies that pursue these more eco-friendly options?
Yes, that's a great question. Consumers are demanding that companies provide more sustainable options and that they invest in more circular business models. So there's a wealth of data from just the past year alone during the pandemic showing that consumers are more and more committed to requiring the companies they shop from to take a stand for their values, to align with them on core values, and also to work at protecting the environment. And the data from the last few years all shows that trend as well. It's just that during the pandemic year, we're seeing consumers actually put their foot down even more and more about that.
So it sounds like it's not only good for, the environment, it's actually just good business to enable a more circular and sustainable way of handling these types of goods and these types of issues.
Absolutely. It is good business. It makes business sense. And it also is a way for companies to stick to their values. You know, during a difficult time, it's the time when we should, uh, really push in or lean into our values and our purpose as a company, and to identify what really matters to us, to our consumers, and to our employees as well.
Yes, and I love that. I love that. And, Optoro, we're very mission driven in terms of reducing and removing as much waste as possible from this, returns phenomenon. So I know we're releasing the impact report on the 2020 impact report that talks a lot about the environmental benefit that we were able to achieve through the use of our technology. But what were some of those statistics that we were able to influence? And then what should retailers be thinking about for 2021?
Yeah, we are releasing our 2020 impact report, and we are so proud of what we were able to do in the last year alone with our clients who are retailers and brands. On average, our clients were able to keep more than 96% of their returned and excess inventory out of landfills by sending them to resale channels, to donations, or to recycling. And so through that, we helped our clients divert more than 3 million pounds of inventory out of landfills. And we also helped them prevent more than 4.7 million pounds of carbon emissions by reducing transportation and increasing efficiency in the reverse value chain. We're really excited about those impacts, and we are just going to continue to lean into those types of programs in the future. So we're going to continue to work with our clients on enabling circular business models for them. I think that's going to be one of the key trends in all of retail next year is circularity. One of the things that we did at the end of 2020 is we joined a network of companies that are committed to enabling the circular economy. This network was called the Eon Partner Network. And so we're a group of companies looking to try to use technology to improve sustainability outcomes in retail. So that's going to be an interesting trend going forward in the future, as well as using technology to make retail more sustainable and more circular. And another way that we're going to continue to see great outcomes within Optoro is investing in our diversity, equity, and inclusion strategy. And I think you'll see that across the board in retail. Many of our clients are talking about it and are looking for ways to improve their programs in equity and inclusion. And we're looking forward to continuing to do the same as well. So more to come in 2021.
Such important work, and so glad to hear about the impact that Optoro's technology was able to have, and certainly continued progress on all of those fronts in 2021 across all those very important areas that you mentioned. So thank you for sharing your knowledge and insights and data with us, Megan. This was so interesting. I hope everyone got some great inspiration from this chat. For those of you who are interested in finding out more about 2020 and the impacts we were able to make, please go ahead and click down below and take a look and download the impact report. And if you want to chat with us more about what our technology can do to help you really solve this very painful problem, go ahead and schedule a demo, reach out, and we will be happy to talk to you more about how to move that and propel that in the right direction for your business. So thank you, Megan. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching, everyone. And we will see you again soon. Bye.